Alright guys, here's game 2 of our practice session. We swapped roles. He's bringing the Skaven. I'm going to bring the Wood Elves. We both agree Orion is pretty much an auto pick as far as the Skaven matchup goes. I've got a Waystalker to go with him. We're going to snipe some. Our first intention was to snipe Cannon Crew with our Kronos arrow and just kite any garbage he may have back towards our main force. We have Spellsinger of Beast for the Manicore summon and Flock of Doom and our Wisdom's Wild form. We have a stack of 5 spear, staggered out, stretched out for these mortars to have something to shoot at. Left side we have 3 Dryad and Orion. Right side we have 2 Dryad, 3 Deepwood Scouts, and unshielded Wild Riders. My thinking is we're not going to take wildfire to the Wild Riders. If we do, we've already lost. So there's no sense of bringing shields on them. And let's get it underway. Now, thing to note about the mortar is when you're shooting over hills, steep hills, when you're shooting into trees, it's not accurate. You're going to overshoot your target. You're not going to be very accurate. So this mortar fire may look like it's coming towards the Dryads, but he's actually shooting at Orion, because Orion was the only thing he could see at that time. So if you'll follow my my eye line on Orion, you'll see that he's still firing. He hasn't changed targets. He's still firing at Orion, and this is good value for me. I'm taking a lot of money off the table with him doing this. I see his 2 Plague Monks, which is a great choice against trees and all things decently armored. And he's going to realize his mistake by shooting here in a second. And he's going to readjust his fire. Actually, he's already done it. And that's a good play on his part. In the meantime, our right-hand flanking force has come across a lot of Skaven chaff and Warp Fire Throwers. Now, they can be dangerous if you let them be, but we're pushing up really aggressively with our Deepwood Scouts and all of our infantry. So we're just going to sweep them right off the field. He's targeting our spears. We're just going to charge them up because we want to give this mortar something to do. These spears, it doesn't really matter if they live or die. He's got to expend this ammunition. We have no choice but to let him do that. So we're going to let him do this. He's fired he's fired 5 volleys so far. So we're a third through his ammunition. We see the Doom Wheel. We're targeting it with a Waystalker. We've been Kronosing it and just shooting it down. We're going to summon up the first Manicore and go get on it for real. We get caught here. We get charged without counter-charging. Now we're going to push forward towards the Doom Wheel with this one. Now he's broken 1 set of spears. I'm sorry, he's broken 2 sets of spears so far. No 1 set of spears. The other set of spears has gotten in here on the Hell Pit and it's helped Orion pull out. We missed some of this engagement. Orion has dropped both of his abilities. To some effect, you can see Plague Monks running in the background, Skaven Slaves running, Healthy Plague Monks. I'm sorry, Sensor Bears are running here. You get the Hell Pit and Rat Ogres brawling it out. Mortar trying to do what it can to keep the spears from getting on the Hell Pit. First Manicore and the Waystalker is just going to outright kill this Doom Wheel. We have Orion coming back in. He's reached the ceiling cap of the 20% for his item. So we're going to rock him back up. He's going to be doing whatever he wants to do. Rat Ogres are coming down the hill unsupported. We have spears, so we're going to reroute these spears back down the hill towards them. They're coming for Orion, and we're going to try to juke charge. We dodge a few Rat Ogres, but in the end, they pin him down. But he's anti-large. He's just going to be taking these Rat Ogres to school. We summon our second Manticore to get on these mortars. They've used 2/3 of their ammunition now, and we're going to shut them down the rest of the game. Deepwood Scouts pushing through just like they should. We're being slow with this infantry engagement. We're letting this grind out. We're going to kill this threat. We're going to do what we can. We're going to close up the right flank, close up the center, and then come in with our force. There's no reason to push this into the open. They're doing just fine in the woods, taking out his flank. And we're going to drop. This is not very a very effective block of Doom, but we're going to drop it anyway. Um, and here we're going to drop a Hounds of Cronus too, even though arguably that did a lot more damage to us than it did him. But I think I had misidentified the Hell Pit as more Plague Monks, is why I had dumped that on there. I wasn't zoomed in. And now we're going to drop another Flock of Doom, it looks like. And he's going to go ahead and summon some Plague Monks in here now to fight off what spears we have on the Hell Pit. We're going to bring more Dryad down the hill into him. And our Manticore has chased off the mortars. And we've completely wrapped up his right flank. We have Wild Riders coming up and over. They got a good amount of kills so far. And now we're going to put them north against the Hell Pit. We charge in. But he's up here fighting Orion to the death. Orion dies. And he's really good with this move. He hits us with Wither. And then he is going to hit us with the damage ability. I forget what it's called, the scroll cast. But he's going to nuke these Wild Riders down to like half health real quick. Between the Hell Pit, him, and all of his buffs and debuffs. And now we have nothing here. So we're going to run more Dryad in and try to pull our what's left of our Wild Riders out of this if we can. But it's gotten ugly right there. And we're focus firing the Hell Pit because he's really the only thing on the field now that we have to worry about. I mean, Lord Stroll can be killed eventually. We're killing Rat Ogres with what spears we have, and then we're going to roll them back up over here. Our Waystalker's out of ammunition, but his cannon crew is completely offline. Skaven slaves ain't going to do anything with suck up ammunition. We get targeted again by Lord Skrull, so we pull out and away. And yeah, the grind battle is going his way for now, but he's got his second set of summons in. And whereas Plague Monks, Sensor Bearers just clean house against the trees, the Plague Monks are really don't do good at all. They both have physical resistance, but the Dryads have magic damage, so they just completely bypass the Plague Monks' physical resist, whereas the Plague Monks are having to try to chew through the Dryads' physical resist. Now we're going to focus fire on Skrulk for a second, but we're going to return back to the Hell Pit fairly shortly. And we're going to give him a little kiss with our Wild Riders, just punt him, send him across the map. And it's pretty much over now. We've pretty much wrapped it up. If this Hell Pit doesn't get his health proc, Lord Skrulk's in trouble. We're dragging him back down the hill underneath those reindeer hooves. But balance of power is a little bit in my favor, but in actuality, it's quite a bit more in my favor. We lost balance of power, I think, because we ran out of ammunition with all of our Deepwood Scouts, and they're not very good in melee, but that amount of them is going to be good enough for if we have to brawl it out. We have a full health Waystalker, we have a Beast Singer. We still have a little bit of cav now to maintain our leadership because it was waning. We're going to go ahead and charge these Rat Ogres in the back to get the charge on us. We're just running from Lord Skrulk right now. He has Blistless Filth, he has Stand Your Ground, but we want to get this Hell Pit out of here. We don't want him getting his health proc, and if we can do that, we're guaranteed a victory. And we kind of get stuck in here. I turn these low health spearmen around to try to stop him, but it's not enough. He's still chasing our full health spearmen, but at this time, it's just everything's gone bad for him. He's getting attacked in the rear, the Hell Pit breaks, and now he's broken, and that's the end of the game. That was a good game, especially considering I think that's probably only the second time I've ever seen him bring Skaven, and his playstyle definitely does not lend itself to Skaven, but he did fairly well, I think. And this is an old school build. There's nothing except for the mortar that he liked when I used it against him. There's nothing new school about any of this. This is complete day one Warhammer 2 content here. So Sensor Bearer's super good choice. Don't get suckered in. Save them. Keep them in reserve. Maybe only bring one. You need more Skaven slaves. You need more chaff. Warp fire throwers. That's a gamble. They're only 550 though, so you can get. It's worth a gamble, I guess. If they bring any sort of infantry, you're going to use this. If he could have got that flank off, like on an infantry line, he'd have done beautifully. You only have to kill one infantry unit to pay for itself. They have heavy armor. For Skaven, they have decent melee and attack and defense. I think their armor is 70, so they're pretty efficient at what they do, especially for the cost. The Hell Pit, it's slower than any cavalry that the Wood Elves have. That's number one. Number two, it doesn't have a lot of armor. It's gonna get hit by missiles and just get wrecked. I don't like that pick. I'm sure it serves its purpose. It definitely served good for 1v1ing Orion, punching Orion in the face. It did a pretty good amount of work against him. So it's debatable, I guess. That 94 some odd kills is mostly Dryad. So bring it, don't bring it. The lightning cannon I definitely don't like. It's super vulnerable to arrows of Cronus if I were to use them against it. It's just big. It's a bullet magnet, and it's kind of slow and clunky. And all the Wood Elf cavalry is super fast, and you're going to be darting in and out of the woods. And I just don't see where it might pay for itself. Doomwheel, in my opinion, is a good choice. And I think maybe if you would have gotten rid of the cannon and the Hell Pit and maybe brought 2 Doom Wheels and filled the rest of this out with chaff, kept 1 sensor bearer, keep the Warpfire throwers if you want to, maybe to back up your Skaven chaff and to blunt any charges for your avalanche mortars to buy more time for your mortars. Get you 2 Doom Wheels, and the amount of money you save, you can get another 2 or 3 Rat Ogres, or you can get another 2 Rat Ogres and just the rest of this 5. You can just fill with Skaven slaves and clan rats, and that way any Wild Riders come in, you charge them with your Doom Wheel, but you use Skaven slaves as a cushion. You use your Rat Ogres to control infantry engagements and to pin in Wild Riders so you can do your work. You summon your summons and your Plague Monks in the middle of the Wild Riders once you have them pinned. I think that could work really good. Plague is something that I would suggest if you could pin in a group of cav to where it can't retreat, it can't pull out. Drop a plague in the middle of that, and you're gonna delete. I don't care what kind of cav it is. It's not going to work tomorrow if you drop a plague in the middle of it. And that's how I changed the build. But he did really well. Like I said, he's not a Skaven player. Lord Scroll, 106 kills, Avalanche Mortar. They're never gonna not be an auto include. The Doom Wheel, we focused it down so it didn't do any damage to us. It just cost us a couple of shots and a Manticore summon. But that was our second build. I really enjoy this. I think after watching the replay, I think the Wild Riders are okay. I was going to cut them from the build, but I think we're going to keep them. Dryads pretty much all got really good value. But yep, that's the second practice match, guys. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, comment. Get in on this tournament, guys. Post your interest. Hit me up on Steam. Let's get a list going. Get in on this free DLC. All right, peace, guys. See you later.